Good afternoon, my name's Denise and I am a yoga teacher, and I just want to demonstrate some poses or asanas, if you want, that can really help athletes, and this one specifically for footballers, in relation to flexibility, injury reduction and potential improvement of performance. So this video could be 20-30 minutes long, and it can be done every day or every other day or maybe once a week, but it'll just work with the general major joint areas, which is the shoulders, the hips, the ankles, and work with the muscles all the way around to try and prevent injury, and also develop range of movement in certain areas such as the hip flexors and the groins. Again, with footballers, they can go into tackled and overstretch, and this could potentially prevent injuries in the future in them kinds of situations. So we're going to break it up into small blocks. But first of all, we're going to start working with the back, because we know that footballers generally get problems with the lower back because of all the twisting and turning. So we need to start working in that spinal area at the bottom. So firstly, we'll get ourselves, I have some notes here because I've made them specifically, so I just need to make sure. We'll get ourselves into a cat-cow position, shoulders over hands, knees just a little bit further apart, so you just get out it's a tabletop position. So we're going to start just flexing the spine, and we're going to breathe in. So when we breathe in, we allow the bottom to push out, and we get a nice hollow in the spine with the head up. And then when we breathe out, we roll the shoulders over, pull the abdomen into the back and drop the head. Okay? And we flex and extend the spine. So let's go again. Breathe in. And breathe out. A couple more. Breathe in. And breathe out. We're just going to move down into a lying position. Okay, with our hands just at the side slightly, and nose working towards the mat. So we're just going to bring ourselves up onto just the forearms with the palms back down. So breathe in, just bring yourself up. Okay. And then it's just a real small bend. We're going to work the lower body, the lower back on each side. So we're going to breathe in, look left. Nice twist. Breathe out to the middle. Breathe in, look right. Another twist. Breathe out to the middle. So we're working both those muscles that move into the lower spine. And then the next bit is to just place your hands next to the shoulders. Now, not everybody can pull up into a cobra, so we've got options. Breathe in, just to there, is to feel the back won't move, and back down. The progression is just breathing in a bit further, but just keeping the front of the legs on the floor. If you find that you're going to move up too much, just lower a little bit, because we're working the spine, not the front of the legs. And again, we're just going to do two more, so breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And out. Those poses can be done every day to work the lower spine, and I suggest for footballers who are kind of working every day on the football field training, that the twist that we do, the slight twist lying down, the cat-cow position and the cobra probably need to be done every day, maybe 5 times or something, so it will really, really work the lower back. And then we're going to move ourselves into a downward dog. Now, the position to get into a downward dog can be from a tabletop. You put your toes in the floor and you lift up when you breathe in, and you just push back slightly through the calves. You drop the head moving towards the chest, and the head just be nice and loose. A good tester that you've not put any pressure on your neck is to just shake your head. Okay, so not everybody is going to be able to pull the calves to the floor, so it doesn't matter. What we need to do is we just need to ensure we have this V here. Okay, so that's really working on your spine as well, So it's lengthening your spine and also working on the calves and the back of your legs. So just to stretch a little bit more around your Achilles and the calves, we're just going to bend our right knee, and lengthen our left and back again. So it's just like walking through. Absolutely really working through the calves, really stretching that off. Breathe in as you do it, and allowing the chest to move just a little bit forward towards the knees. Okay, and this is a really great stretch, and I'm sure you probably do it, but one thing that you probably do wrong, as most footballers do, is you put your head up, and that really can work against your neck muscles and your back muscles and just give you a little spasm which you don't really need. Okay, and then just come back up. So now we're going to work and just bring this into a pigeon pose. So what I'd like you to do is bring your right knee under and your ankle slightly out, like that, and push your left leg back. Now, what you need to just ensure is that your hip is not rotating over. Now, I'm just going to go and get a block to show you. If your hip is rotating over, you can put anything underneath, like a block underneath your bottom, just so you can sit nice and evenly. Okay, and then once you've got yourself in that position, you can move further down and stretch that off. We stay in this position for a longer period of time. So where we're working is really the inner thigh into the groin and the outer glutes. So it's working right deep into your hip flexors as well. Obviously, if you don't need this, you can sit right down into it and just hold. So this position works well, or you can even use the block, just put your head on. Now this position works well when we're in it for a long period of time. What happens is the muscles generally relax. You don't push them, but as we stay in this position, your muscles generally relax, lengthen, and just start to move further down. Body starts to just sink into this pose. And you need to be probably staying in this one for at least 20 seconds. And once you've completed that, lift up. So you've got your toe in, so you're just lifting up a bit like you were lifting into the downward dog before. And just changing the leg. So there you show the knee goes under, the ankle slightly out, and the back of the leg really lengthened at the back. Again, you can put a block here if you need to. You can sit nice and low. So not everybody can go that far. Some people find they've got this bend here, and if you need to stay up, that's absolutely fine. So as you can see, one of my hips is tighter than another, so I don't go down as further as one. So don't worry, we're not all asymmetrical, we just need to work on the stretch. And that's the kind of thing that you need to kind of be holding for about 10 to 20 seconds, which I'm not going to hold, I'm just showing you. And we're just going to move back up to the downward dog. So we'll put our back foot in, lift up, and then push down. So another good thing to do is just to bend the knees, drop the knees just to rotate them, and then just push back. You could actually just breathe in, rock over, and then push back. And again, breathe in, rock over, and push back. Place your knees on the floor, and a nice relaxing position could be child's pose. Just really now stretching off. Stretching the top of the shoulders. And then come up and relax. So that's the one block that we've done. That works kind of the hip flexors. Okay? Also works the back of the calves, the hamstrings, and the Achilles. We started off working the back as well, which is a really important thing. So the next thing we're going to continue with is working down your IT band, which is the stretchy bit down the leg. Also the hamstring at the back. I'm going to work into lunges so we can look at the glutes, strengthen the glutes and stretching the inner thigh. So to start off with, we're going to take a big deep breath. It's really important we breathe through them, and we're going to exhale and we're going to forward fold. Okay, so I accept that some of you might have bended knees. I don't mind soft knees, just not full bend. So if you have soft knees, just allow your body to relax and just see where you are. You might be here, you might be here, and just grab hold of somewhere to see where you are. It's a really nice kind of measurement, should I say, so that when you continue to do this, you can see if there's any improvements. So looking at the IT bend, okay, which is the stretchy bit now, which is a very important thing. It really helps with football performance. If they're really stiff, it's going to be difficult to run. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is bend your right knee. Now keeping that, so I'm just going to turn around so you can see, keeping that left leg really straight and the hip back. Placing your hand wherever you want, depending where you want. Take the left hand up, follow the gaze and look all the way up. What you get is a lovely stretch of hamstrings in the IT band. And again, this should be held for around 10 to 15 seconds. And then you'll bring it back down. Your head will be nice and loose, we don't want any contractions. And you'll bend the left knee, stretching the hip back, the right hip, straight leg, take the right hand up and just follow the gaze if you can all the way, just to get that lovely stretch. So I'm going to put myself in the position I was in before. Okay, so we can take off from there. And then we're just going to breathe in and come back up. Okay. So the next bit we're going to do is we're going to start lunging back and doing some twists for the back. Okay. So we're going to take a breath in again and forward fold. Now bend your knees, place your hands on the floor, and again if you've got any blocks you can use blocks to help you if you struggle with that. Now I'm going to take the left leg back and drop the right knee. So where I want, so this is a fine position which most footballs be in. I don't want to see ankle far back to the knee, because when we start moving forward we work in this area, we want to work the hip flexors. That's fine. If you can get it a bit further, that's even fine, so you get that nice hip stretch. So what you will do is just breathe in, and you can either place your hands on your hips if your balance is a problem, and just push your hips forward, stretching the hip flexors. Okay? And the hands are up if you want to just push a little bit further into that. Don't push it, just relax. So working on the shoulders as well, which I think is a really important thing. Place your hands behind your back, clasp. Not everybody will be able to do it. Stretch and see if you can get those hands a little bit further down. Bottom. Hand your head not high up, just diagonal, slightly up. Looking into maybe a corner of a room, whatever. And just really open those shoulders. And then we come forward and we place our hands on the floor. Okay, so we're now going to do a bit of a twist like we did before. So leave the left hand on the floor, take the right hand up, breathe in and look at the fingers. Where you get is the inner thigh stretch and outer glute stretch. And just keep that stretch for around 10, maybe 15 seconds. Sometimes it can be a bit hard if you're not used to holding down. And when you bring it back in, okay, we're just going to extend, straighten the leg and extend the toes up. So we've got hamstring curl, hamstring stretch. So to get the most of the hamstring stretch, you just drop your knee towards your, so drop your nose towards your knee. And hold it like that. Okay, so you get a lovely stretch of hamstrings right down into the glute. And hold. Dropping the head. So I just put my head up there as I was looking at my notes, but the most important thing is you keep the head dropped. Then we come back into the lunge and take both the hands, place them inside of the right ankle. So the shoulder and the knee are moving, the shoulder and the knee are moving towards each other. Now, not everybody can get down there, it's just an aim. And really just allowing your body to relax into this stretch. Really open the hip here. And your groin area, hamstrings. And the aim eventually would be to place your elbows on the floor. Okay? And then bring your hands back over, put the toe in and lift up. So this is a high lunge. Okay, so adjust the back leg if you feel like you need to bring that in. And then we're just going to, with the high lunge, take the right hand up. So it's a similar principle, but we just get a deeper stretch as for higher. Breathing in. So again, I'm just saying, I probably won't stay in 10 to 15 seconds, but that's what you need to be doing. And then we're going to see if we can come up. Again, balance, proprioception. Place your hands in front and just twist. So we're working the waist and the back. And come back in. Place hands on the floor and walk the foot up and breathe. So that's one side done. And the other side is going to be exactly the same, just that you'll probably just see a different angle. So take a breath in, inhale up, and then forward fold. Okay, we're not going to do the IT band stretch because we've already done it, but we're just going to take your legs. So bend your knees, take your right leg back, drop the knee. So I'm just going to run through this. It's similar. Again, foot not there. That's the minimum. If you want to go a bit further, you can. So take a breath in, push your hips forward, nice and gently, hands on hips. For progression, bring them up so you get a full stretch all the way up the hips. Really good area there. Again, keep saying hold it for a lot longer than 10 to 15 seconds, if you can. And then let's place the hands behind the back and really stretch, open the shoulders, which is a really important part to be flexible with all the running and barging about that you probably do on the field. Just allowing that mobilisation of the shoulder joint. We're now going to place both hands on the floor. And now we're going to just leave the right hand on the floor, take the left hand up and stretch all the way up, taking the gaze to the fingers, allowing that stretch on the outside of the left glute and slightly on the inside of the thigh. It's exactly the same as the other side. We're showing you this particular kind of view. And then place your hand down. So again, we're just going to lengthen the left leg, extend the toe up. So we've got a lovely hamstring stretch and your nose moving towards your knee. And just hold that so you can see the different side in the video. Just keeping those stretches on for as long as possible. And then place your foot back down and take both hands on the inside of your left instep. So the shoulder again and the knee not moving together. And just allow the stretch to become deeper on the inside of your thigh, on the outside of your glutes. Pain is not something we're aiming for. Mild discomfort slightly, and after that your body should just relax into it once you get used to it. Then place your hand back where it was and see this back toe just allows us to lift up into a high lunge. Okay, so you can use your foot to just kind of just work where you want to be to come up, because balance is an issue, but you need to learn balance. Okay, it's better for you. Okay, so you bring yourself back down. We're going to do that lunge twist. So we're going to left hand all the way up. So we've got the twist that we had in the low lunge, and then we're just going to bring it right into high lunge, just to create that deeper stretch on the inside of the thigh and the outside of the glute. And again, holding that for as long as I said with all the other poses. When you bring it back in, lift yourself up. Now, a lot of people can't put hands right up, so you might just need to balance here. But we're looking for a twist towards the left side, twisting the waist and the back. And bringing that back in and up to the top. And I take a breath and come down. So that section really worked the glutes and inner thighs and hamstrings, IT band. The next section again is just a range of movement in the hips, and what we would need to be doing is having your left foot facing forward in front of you, okay, and the right foot just out at a 90-degree angle, okay. This is called the Warrior 3. Your hands will be out, and again it's very similar. I don't want to see, okay, your knee going over your toe, just a little bit further out. I don't mind your knee being in line, I certainly don't want it over. And bring it back. You'll stretch into the Warrior 2. So you're really looking, your gaze is on your right fingers. And you're keeping your core nice and relaxed in. And hold. Okay. Now a really good one to do, just to work on the hip flexors, would be to breathe in, straighten your leg, breathe out, push a little bit further forward. And again, breathe in, straighten your leg. Breathe out, push a little bit further forward, really working on the hip flexors there. Breathe in, and then out, pushing a little bit forward. Groins, just taking up more flexibility. And again. And out, nice and slow, and just hold that. And then place your elbow on your knee, and take that stretch right over. Again, really working deep into the groin. And hold that, if you can. And you bring yourself back up, straight. Now bring your toes facing forward, so you've got quite a nice wide forward fold. The whole idea now is to breathe in, and again we're just going to place our hands behind our back, just like we did before, straighten, so that we can get that shoulder mobilisation. And breathe in now, and keep the shoulder mobilised, forward fold and hold. Drop the head so that like the crown of the head is facing the mat, so you're looking through your legs. And then relax and place your hands on the floor, if it's your fingertips, your hands, whatever, and allow the gravity just to move you down to the ground. And hold that. So now your hamstrings, your glutes and everything are really working. The gravity of you folding forward is meaning that you're dropping further and lengthening your muscles further. Just come up on your fingertips, take a deep breath, right hand up and bring it up behind you, follow the gaze, just like we've been doing. Just allow the lift in that hips. I'm going to hold that for a few breaths. Bring that back down and drop a little bit further. Don't push, just allow the gravity to drop. You can be anywhere you want, you don't have to be as low as I am. And then when back on your fingertips, take your left hand up, pull the hips slightly back. Really work on those stretches. And then bring it back down. And allow the gravity again, so you'll notice that you've got a bit further down than when you started. It's just inevitable that will happen because the gravity just moves and lengthens. If you're feeling any pain, just come back up. Now come back up. And then all I'm going to ask you to do is the left foot move out to 90 degrees and the right foot out in front of you. And we're just going to go to warrior two. So your left knee's bent, right knee's nice and straight, legs nice and straight, and you're looking at your left fingers. Core in. So let's just start to mobilise the hips. So breathe in, straighten the leg, breathe out, and just allow it to just slightly push. And again, breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathe in, then out. Last one, in and out. And then place the hands on the elbow and just stretch over. Really working the inner thigh. And really working the glutes as well for the balance. And come back up. Shimmy yourself back up. Breathe in. Just check my watch. Now we've just got a couple more things to look at, which is working on your core, which is quite a really important thing. So we'll start again, moving to a forward fold, working core and back. So we're going to breathe in and forward fold, just as we've been doing. Bend your knees and walk back. Okay, and just stay nice and easy into a plank. So you're really pulling your abs up. So your bottom's not a downward dog, and it's not like this. It's just nice and straight, hold it. And hold. If you wish to, if it makes it easier, you can come on your forearms and hold. So all I want you to do now is tap to the right, keeping your abs in. Once, tap to the left, keep your abs in. Tap to the right, keep your abs in. Tap to the left, keep your abs in. Come on, let's go one more each side. Tap to the right, and tap to the left. Okay, and then lower to the floor. So we did the cobra before. Take a breath in, inhale up, and breathe down. Now, if you're any good at press ups, put your toes into the floor, lift up into a plank. If you struggle, place your knees on the floor and get into the plank. Okay? And hold. Now, we're going to put the left knee down and twist it to the back. Okay? So that we're in a bit of a side plank. Okay? So that's dead easy, that. Hands up in the air. Then, lift the leg and allow the hand to go over. So we've got progression. You can stay where you are if you're struggling to lift. You can stay there. And if you are somebody that has great strength in the wrists and the core, the next one, you can just lift up into a plank. And if you want to, you can actually lift a little bit further on one leg. These are all the progressions. Stay wherever you are if you want to. Okay, so bring yourself down. If you want to stay here, you can do. Roll over forward. Hold that core. And take some taps again, making sure that core. So left, right, pull the core in. Left, right, left, right. Lower to the floor. Breathe in for cobra. Breathe out. Press up or knee press up, lift up. And again, we're going to drop the right knee so we'll come to the back. There's the options. Lift and over. Or if you want to go into plank, which is really good, lifting the hip, pulling up the hips. You can do any of those. Up to you, just giving you options. Okay, back down to the options. Roll back down, lower, breathe in cobra, and back out. And then let's just stretch ourselves off into child pose. So there's all the lovely sequences done. We get a lovely stretch here, a lovely stretch in the lats. And really to finish off, we should start looking again at the groin area and how we sit. So a lot of people kind of sit like that, or like that, or like that, and it's really, really hard to get the knees down. So we can work on just placing our feet together, okay? And if you want, you can place your hands on the floor, if you find that really difficult, and you can grab hold of your toes, the instep, or your ankles, and all you need to do is breathe in, lengthen your spine, and when you breathe out, just push those knees out, allowing the shoulders to relax a bit further down. That's it. So if you do that a number of times, holding for 8 to 10 seconds, ensuring you're not hunched over. If you feel you're going to hunch, start working, moving like that. The other thing that's really important is working on the knees, okay, and the dorsal and plantar flexion. So with the knees, okay, a lot of people can't even sit like this, so you need to learn how to sit on your ankles. If it means putting a block first and then slowly lowering, okay, these are the things that you need to learn to sit, so just allow your quads to lengthen. And if you can sit like this, the next best thing is to keep your knees near to each other, place your ankles a bit further out and sit in between lower. What this does, it strengthens the knees and also the top of the foot. So this is really like the plantar flexion. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the side, and the reason being is because as you hold this pose for as long as you can, okay, the next best thing is to move into dorsiflexion, just to move your ankles. So this is a difficult one to hold for all of you, but if you are all going to be still here, continue. Okay, so there's different options. Place your hands on the floor, toes into the floor, lift up into downward dog and just push back, just allowing, just to offset the plantar flexion into the dorsiflexion. Go. And so that's like a 30-minute run around of kind of just the work we can do as footballers, and a really good thing to do at the end would just to be breathing like this and stretching and mobilising and opening the shoulders just to finish off. Hocking the knees is always a good one. So hope you've enjoyed that and try it out. I think it'll work for you. Thank you.